All right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Tom McHavis here. Mandalay Bay, Vegas, EXP Con. Hey, Russ, how are you doing?
Man, I am doing outstanding, Tom. You are outside of Mandalay Bay, and I am inside of Mandalay Bay, right next to General Sessions, which just started a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
awesome. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump in here, and we're live. We're at EXPCon in Las Vegas, and we just wanted to share a few nuggets that we've learned so far. Number one, first of all, why do I go to these events? I go to these events. I think if there's one thing that has helped me grow and grow my business more than anything else is going to events. We learn, we grow, we connect with others, we learn other things that are happening in different markets, and we have some fun, right? We're in Vegas. So number
Sounds
one.
so great. He's outside with the palm trees in the hotel.
Yeah. So that's
it.
number one why I go. So I just want to encourage all of you to go to events. I don't care if it's an EXPCon. I don't care if it's a NARCAR. Just go to events. Get out, go and see people and meet people. So there were two amazing meetings that I went to yesterday. One of them was on success coaching. And I have always had a coach. I've had a business coach, a professional coach. I've had a personal coach. I've had a relationship coach, performance, cycling. I mean, you name it. There's so many great things about coaching. You know, obviously, number one, to keep up with the industry changes, a coach is going to have a different set of eyes. And I know Matthew is a golfer. He's had golf coaches, and you can only see 180 degrees what you're doing. They can see what you're doing. They give you objective advice and then unleash your full potential. So EXP now has success coaching. And so I would recommend anyone that if you don't have a coach, check out success coaching or reach out to one of your leaders, Don, myself, Randy, Matthew, Russ, to find out more. Then the second was Glenn Stearns, who is also partnered with Stearns Lending with EXP. It was just amazing to hear his story because, you know, he's a billionaire. Like, okay, what is a billionaire? This guy's got it all going on, blah, blah, blah. Hey, he was raised in a very humble abode. He had dyslexia. He had alcoholic parents. The guy just had grit to do whatever it took to make things happen. And a few things that he shared, he said, number one is recognize your strengths and your weaknesses. We need to know what we're good at, what we're not good at. And number two, he said, there is no job that's beneath you. Doesn't matter. I mean, he's cleaned bathrooms, toilets, no job, just do whatever it takes. And also he said once you take action, you know, he was talking about motivation. A lot of people I want to get motivated. No, he says, take action first, and then the motivation will follow. Once you take action, then you're going to get motivated, and then you're going to build that confidence. And then the last is definitely just do whatever it takes to make things happen, and do whatever it takes. Have the grit, have the grind to pick yourself up immediately right after you fall down, get up and make it happen. So those are a few nuggets from me. So whoever else can jump in here and share a few, that'd be great.
Hey, Tom,
Awesome. Go ahead.
I'll jump in. It's Russell. Yeah, no, I'm inside of Mandalay Bay. Like we just said, Tom is outside of Mandalay Bay. They just started General Sessions. I'm excited to get in there. Stearns was my favorite yesterday also. And it's funny because when he was talking about the motivation piece, I'm doing calls for one of my buyers, a commercial buyer. And I'll tell you, the first one or two calls were the hardest. And then, 5 or 6 days in, I was 100 calls in, right? And so the motivation came as I started getting some response. So absolutely. The second thing that Tom said, or the first thing that Tom said, right, is the thing that has been the most impactful for me. Don't miss events. I've already learn so much from the people that I have met here that I didn't know before. Some of the lead generation systems in this new market, the changing market that we have right now that are being done in other markets, I'm going to duplicate and take to my market. I learned a really good nugget on how to get some listings from some veterans, which was really, really cool. And so you just got to get to the events because you never know who you're going to rub elbows with. You don't know who you're going to have breakfast, lunch, dinner, grab coffee with. You have to get to these events. So that's what I have. I'll pass it to you, Matt.
Awesome. Great stuff. Hopefully you guys can hear me well, but yeah, the events are where it's at, right? You hear all the leaders say they never miss an event, and you build from event to event. Now that could be your real estate business. You build from event to event. It doesn't have to be all about recruiting and all that. But what's interesting is when you go to the events, just like Russ was saying, you never know who you're going to rub elbows with, who you're going to run into, stand in the line for coffee. Here's a key point. If you can, get your rooms early, try to stay at the host hotel because that's where the leaders are staying, right? Now, if you can't get the host hotel, obviously get a hotel next door or whatever you can get to the event. But if you can get in the host hotel, man, you can. I was talking to a guy who's up on a panel breakout session today, standing in a line waiting for our coffee this morning, and got to just brainstorm and so on. And it's so interesting, the nuggets of information you're going to get from people. The other thing that I'd say that's really powerful is because we are a cloud-based company, sometimes what some of the competitors say is, well, gosh, you guys don't have, brick and mortar, you get to be in person with each other and all that stuff, right? Which is interesting because I used to be at another company and I'd have my private office. I'd go in and I'd close the door. So I wouldn't always rub elbows with everybody. But at the events is where you get to connect and you have that family feel. So I took team members last night out to dinner and we got to just connect and have a great time and learn their stories and their history. And then the other thing is, they're sharing referrals now because now they have relationship, they have trust, they get to know the person's story. And so we have team members now, from Oregon, Washington, Missouri, Florida, etc. And they're saying, hey, I got buyers, I got sellers, da, 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 da. So that's another added benefit. Then you get to choose your path at EXP. One of the things that I think is really great that they've done this year at EXPCon is they've broken it down, and I think it's 3 different levels, if you will, or 4 maybe, and you get to pick. So if you're a new agent that's, we call emerging and growing, if you're an experienced top producer like Russ and Tom and so on, there's a different path of breakout sessions that you can, that really speak to and pertain exactly to where you are in your real estate career. So they've really done a good job on trying to identify every different level of people's real estate career that you can plug into and get specific training directly based on where you are in your business. And I've been to other, I've been doing this 26 years. So I've been with other companies, I've been to other functions, and I don't know that I can remember that a company has broken down in those type of different segments where you actually have a path of breakout sessions for multiple days based on where you are specifically in your real estate career. So that's pretty exciting. Really, I think today is actually day 1 officially. We had bonus stuff yesterday, right? And we're getting to get trained by billionaires, which is amazing. So pretty awesome. I know the general session is going. I'm in a tough place. I got people walking by me, run into the general session.
Okay.
But anyway,
Well,
I just want to encourage you guys. Go ahead, Tom. Oh,
yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Awesome.
Okay,
Lastly,
cool.
I just want to encourage you guys. Last thing I'll say, I just want to encourage you guys to not look at going to an event as a cost, but as an investment in yourselves. And so I want to encourage you to invest in yourselves and go to the next event. The next corporate event will be shareholders. So you have, months to start saving and planning for it. And I wouldn't miss it. Invest in yourselves so that you can grow your business and grow.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, Don Yoakum and then Randy Bird, bring it home.
All righty. Well, I would certainly echo many of Matthew's statements, this morning we were at a breakfast and Sandy, who's on the call there, say hi, wave, Sandy. Sandy joined us since the Built event in Dallas. But, at the table, she brought a guest that's doing 80 plus deals a year. And so all of a sudden, the agent that's sitting to my left, which was Micah, is getting to interact with Ed, who's doing 80 deals. And like, wow, how are you doing 80 deals? And, it becomes this little mini mastermind. And actually sitting next to Ed was Russell. And, and so they're all collaborating and, Russell's the FSBO king and, and so Ed's learning about that and, maybe he'll do 90. Actually, I think his goal for next year is 120. So by the way, take note that Ed is not like, yeah, okay, well, the market's correcting by 30%. I guess, maybe I'm going to do 24 less deals next year. No, he's deciding that his business is going to go from 80 to 120 and the market is going to do what the market does. He will just adjust his plan accordingly, right? And when Tom and I met in the early 90s, it was pretty brutal, guys. I mean, we were happy when the interest rates, Tom, remember when the interest rates went from 10 something into single digits, right? And that is another thing that I want you guys to just keep in mind when you come to these events is you're going to encounter people that are not subject to the market conditions. They will be influenced by them, but they will simply adjust their plan accordingly and they will do what it takes. Talent finds a way of doing what it takes to make it happen. And you meet a ton of people here that are like that. And so even just this morning's breakfast was a reminder to me of how powerful it is to surround yourself with people that are doing things that you want to do, right? And even for us that have these large organizations, we get to come and see people that have bigger ones. So, it's very inspiring also, and humbling at times also. And anyway, lots of great content. But as I walked out, Joy, who had recently joined us from San Diego, she goes, the most valuable thing about this are these side conversations, right? I mean, okay, it's great to go to a orchestrated plan training, right? Especially if that's the particular subject that you're wanting to learn in. But here's my experience. When you hear a message from the stage, you're hearing about 97% of what it takes to succeed in that with that particular strategy, okay? And I don't know what it is, and I don't think it's that they intentionally leave things out, but when you have those side conversations at breakfast or in the hallway, you get to learn that extra 2 or 3%. And, that was one of the things that Tom Daves taught me many years ago. I think one of his old brokers told him, well, Tom, when two people are going at it, one of them's going to tell you about 95% of the story, and it will all be true. But that extra little 5%, it can be pretty important, okay? And so one of the reasons why I come to the events is because I want to catch that extra few little percent that other people are not getting. And that gives us, our organization, a bit of an edge. And that's what we want. We want to be able to add the greatest value. So that's my takeaway, Tom.
Awesome. Great points. Randy, bring it home. Birdman, bring it home. Is Randy online?
He was a
no,
moment
looks like
ago,
he
but he
dropped
was.
off.
Yeah, I think his service may have dropped off. He was in the convention center.
Okay. Well, great. Hey, you know what? We brought a lot of great info to everyone. We've got a lot more nuggets and a lot of great things to bring back to you all. But one thing, if you don't remember anything else from this call, is just take action and then the motivation will follow. If you just take action, I mean, we all have call reluctance. We all have these fears. I mean, the market, the news, the media, it does more to terrify than to clarify. But just take action. Just push dial on your freaking phone and just start calling. Don't even worry about what you're going to say. Just start calling people, your database, your fear of influence, jump on Mojo. Just call people, call other agents, and just share with them and offer value and serve them, and stuff's going to happen. So now you all got
Hey,
your inspiration. Time to put in a perspiration.
Hold on,
Good
hold
job,
on,
guys.
Tom. Hold on. Hey, because I want them to be aware of what we're gonna do on the calling. You know, Tom is mentioning make the calls, and one of the things that we are recognizing is that the majority of the leaders in our company are moving to a prospecting based model away from a marketing spend right now. And so our organization is going to lead in that way. And so beginning on November 1st, we're going to be gathering at 9:45 local time. We're going to start it in Pacific, and we're going to do role play for 15 minutes. We will get you the domain, but I think it's going to be dialfordollars.live. You might write that down, dialfordollars.live. And then we're going to call for 2 hours. The majority of us calling, of course, will be calling based on productivity, you know, trying to get more buyers and sellers. Some of us will be calling for attraction, but it's going to be 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. And then for those of us that I'm more of a Saturday guy versus a Monday guy myself. Matthew and I have been doing 8:45, and we will continue to do that. So it'll be 8:45 to 11 on Saturday morning. So come join us. Once we are done with the role play, we go on to mute. And if you get an appointment, then you put it into the chat, which kind of provides encouragement for each other. And we'd love to have you. And so I just wanted to mention that, Tom, so that people will plan into your calendars out that get that prospecting in there.
100%. Absolutely. Well, I'm going to get inside. I might get a little sunburn out here. I need some SP30. It's beautiful. But anyway, now you got your inspiration. Time to put in a perspiration. Thank you, guys. Love you. We'll talk soon. See y'all later. Thanks.
Yeah.